Hey everyone, today I wanted to film a video about something that's really personal to me. Well, if you didn't know already, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I'm one who has suffered really badly with mental health issues. So the reason I'm filming this video is if I help one person with my advice and my sharing my experiences and my stories, it's totally worth filming. So here we go. I'm going to talk about my mental health issues and what helped me. So it's gonna be a little bit hard for me to talk about, but I'm gonna do it anyway. When I had anxiety and panic attacks, that's what I suffered with the most. A bit of depression, but what I suffered with the worst was anxiety and panic attacks. I think I never thought I had it, but when I think back to my childhood, I did have it a bit. It's just I wasn't aware of it back then. But some were so bad, and the last 2 years it's been getting so much better. But before that, for like about 3 years, I was just, it was the worst 3 years of my life. I was in the worst state, and it was so miserable. Like, I didn't know what was going on with me. There were moments when I called the ambulance because I thought something was really wrong with me. And if you suffer anxiety, you'll know like how bad it feels. It's the worst feeling in the world. So I didn't know what I was doing. The things that happened to me, I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't leave the house sometimes. Being in a car was so hard for me for some reason. Just going to the shop was so hard. Like, everything was blurry and so scary. When I used to work, it was so hard. Like, I used to get out of the pool because I work at the swimming pool and teaching. I used to have to get out of the pool and I would have a panic attack in the staff room. And it was just so hard. Then there was times where I was in the car and I would just get it and I had to get out and I felt so trapped. And like, I never got to the stage where I didn't leave the house, but it was hard, and I'm so glad that I did push through and I got out of the house, because I was that close to, I think, to not wanting to leave the house at all. And that's a scary thought. Like, I remember I was at this really bad stage where I just didn't want to leave the house, but I was like, no, I've got to do it. So I went to the car, and it was hard. I was in the car and I was just freaking out for some reason. I don't know what was going on in my mind. But then I went to the shopping mall and we walked a little bit and I had to go home straight away. And it was probably not the best idea to go there because it's so busy, but like, I always love shopping, so I thought that would be a good place to go. But I couldn't even go 5 minutes away. It was just really bad. I've had so many panic attacks, so many anxiety attacks. Like, they're pretty similar, but a panic attack is just the worst. It's where you just think something really bad and you just go crazy. Like, I saw a psychologist and she said it's like, you know, when cars, their alarms go off and then if you tap it, but then there's this sensitive car where if you just walk past it, the alarm goes off. Well, that's like someone with anxiety. You just have to be the simplest thing and you can just go into that panic mode, which was so hard. It was so hard. And look, I may have anxiety for the rest of my life, but I'm so much better now. And I feel like I can handle some situations, and I'm so proud of myself, how far I've come. Just so proud. So I'm going to now talk to you about a few ways that have helped me and hopefully maybe some of these will help you. But I just want to say that if you're having the worst time right now, and you've got anxiety, depression, I don't know, OCD, anything that you're suffering with your mental health, just know that you're not alone. That's what I hope it helps you, because you feel like you're the only one feeling this way sometimes, but I'm telling you 100% you're not alone. There's millions and millions of people that are having the same pain as you right that second. And I know that things will get better. That's what you have to tell yourself. You may be having a bad time right now, but things will get better. You just have to take those baby steps to helping yourself, and things will get better. Alright, I'm going to tell you now some ways that have helped me with my mental health. So some of the ways that helped me was walking. Now, I've only just started this one, but lately I've been going for a walk every day, and my mood just changes straight away. I feel so much happier, and it's great, and it's so good for your health and fitness. So I highly recommend trying to go for a walk every day, even if it's just 10 minutes to start. Even if you just keep doing a 10-minute walk each day, or a 5-minute walk. Just try and go outside, the fresh air, walking. It just changes your mood, and it helps your anxiety and your mental health so much. Well, it definitely helps with mine. The next advice I can give you is seek help. See a psychologist or counselor. But my advice is always go with your gut feeling. Listen to their advice, but if inside in your gut feeling you don't feel like what they're saying is right for you, then don't listen. Ignore it, because it might not be for you. So you have to be smart with that. I've had these 2 psychologists that were amazing. I got so much advice from them, and I feel like they have changed my life. They were amazing. They gave me so many helpful ideas, and they were just beautiful people, and they helped me so much. So I was so thankful for them. But I've had some bad ones that have said stuff that has made me worse. So always go with your gut feeling on what people say to you and the advice they give you. But be open to advice 100%, because people can help you. People have experience and they can help you so much. So many people can help you with their advice. 100%, I believe in that. But make sure if you don't feel right and something doesn't feel right about what they said, then just ignore it and move on from them. As hard as it might be even stuck in your head, but try your hardest to not let it affect you, and it just might not be for you. Another piece of advice is, I'm actually going to give you an advice from one of my psychologists. She said that with your anxiety, what things help you, okay? So just say walking was one of them. Have your invisible tool belt. Put walking in there. So if you're just say in the city and you just feel like an anxiety or panic attack is going to come on, get out of your invisible tool belt, walk in. Okay, so that's so maybe go for a walk around the block at the city. What if it was colouring in? If you have a colouring book with you, then colour in. But you might not have it with you, so then you got that tool belt. So, sorry, I keep going to say toolbox. So you got that tool belt full of things that help you. And what about if it's looking at different things like the colour of the tree, the fence is red, things like that. Slow down your mind sometimes, which is another piece of advice I got. So you could put that in your tool belt. So you have this whole tool belt full of things that will help you if you were ever about to have an anxiety attack, and that's a really good one. So feel free to use that if that helps you. Get your invisible tool belt, write down on a piece of paper even things that help you when you're panicking, things that help you calm down, write them down, and then keep remembering them and put them in your invisible tool belt. Anytime you feel it coming on, take one. If you can't do that one, you got a whole belt full of things that help you. The next one is, I'm bad with this because I do it too, but apparently caffeine's really bad for anxiety. So I could say I've got to do it too. Try and cut back as much caffeine as possible. Another piece of advice is, I would say, oh yeah, this is a really important one. Getting out of the house. If you feel like you're stuck in the house, do you think it's good to just stay there? No. You have to work your hardest to get out. The longer you stay in the house, the harder it's going to get. So just say you're sick and you have to stay home from work or uni, wherever you are, for a whole week. You can't help that if you're sick, okay? But as soon as you're better, get back out there. Even when you're sick, if you can go to the shop, or you can go and stay in the car while your mum or a family member goes and gets petrol, do stuff like that. That's the best advice I can give you, honestly. If you find it hard to get out of your house, you have that comfort in your house, that's where your anxiety triggers, you don't like leaving your house, you have to leave your house, you have to get out there. But do baby steps, okay? Go to the letterbox for a week. Just keep going out to the letterbox. Maybe stand there for 5 minutes. Go back in. Go for a walk around the block. Go back in. Go for a drive up the street. Just up your street and back, if that's still getting out of the house. Then go to a close shop. Take your baby steps to get out of the house, if that's your anxiety, but don't stay in the house. Take as long as you need, little steps like I said, but you have to get out. Otherwise, it's gonna get worse every time. The more you stay at home, the more you're gonna wanna stay there. So you have to get out. So yeah, that's some advice. I can tell you now that my anxiety is improving so much. If I look back to how bad I was, I'm amazed with how far I've come. And I think a little bit's from people's advice, like psychologists and seeing help, but I also think it was myself. You can do it. You gotta set what's gonna be right for you. That's why I'm saying don't always listen to everyone's advice. You know yourself the best, don't you? So do what's right for you. If taking a walk around the block, you think that's gonna help what you're suffering, you're probably right. So write down things that might help you. So I've gave you a few things that have helped me, and I would love it if some of these help someone. And please let me know. That would make me so happy. But yeah, write little things down. Like if you think that invisible tool belt help is a great idea, try that. If it's something I haven't said but you feel like it might help, or someone else has told you, try it. It's never gonna hurt, is it? I really hope it's helped you. I really hope so much I've helped anyone, sharing my experiences, because it was a rough time, but I feel like it's a life experience and I've learnt so much, and I'm so much stronger from my anxiety. Like, it's made me such a strong person. So anyway, I try and think of the positive most of the time. But I want to let you know that if any of you are having a hard time, I just wish I could give you a hug right now and tell you that you will get better. I know it, for 100% you will get better. Just take those baby steps and know that you're not alone. And there's heaps of people that love you. That you might not even think it, but there's people that care so much about you. And we're all here for a reason. So you're so important to this world. If you have the worst time, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. I can promise you it's gonna get better. Just take those baby steps and do anything you can that you think that's going to help you. It's never going to hurt trying. So I hope that my experience has helped. I also have started doing driving lessons, and that was something that with my anxiety, I couldn't do it. I knew that I wouldn't be safe on the roads for me and everyone else on the roads driving. And it's still so scary for me. Like, I did my first driving lesson last week and it was so scary. I was so nervous. But I know that my anxiety is so much better that I can try now. I don't know how good I'll be, and I might have a panic attack. But I'm going to try because I know I'm in a better state of mind. And if you don't feel like you're ready to do something, don't. Because eventually you will. Just take those baby steps until you feel ready. You'll know when you feel ready to try something. Like, I know I feel ready to start learning to drive. I don't know how good I'll be, but I'm going to try my hardest and do my best, which I'm really excited and I'm proud of myself. Will I get anxiety? Definitely possible. But I'm going to do everything I can to try and my best. What's going to hurt, you know? So I'm pretty proud of myself with how far I've come, and I know that anyone that's watching this that is in a bad time, I know you'll get better because I did.